Okay, I should have audio now. It helps to turn on the mixer. Too many switches in this shop. So, as I was saying, we're celebrating the announcement of 4 new special pieces for the U.S. from Grand Seiko today. And Craig has outlined them nicely with the information he had at hand. And I need to turn down my other sound. And so we have these 4 pieces, and as we speak, my wife and Ethan, one of our sales associates and our buyer, are with the Grand Seiko folks. I'm hoping that they'll be able to Skype in. I'm told that Joe Kirk will be making some remarks. Those of you who have followed us know that Joe is the national trainer for Grand Seiko, and he has a fabulous knowledge of the brand, for startling knowledge. And if we can make this Skype work on a cell phone, I think it will be a little rough. I think it'll be pretty interesting. So this is in the. Hang on 1 second, please. Let me entertain you. Yes. Hello. Yeah. Skype in. Yep. Skype in. Skype. Yeah. Okay. Bye. That's Skype in. Yeah. Okay, I'm back. It looks like they're ready to Skype in, and hopefully this will work. This is untested and untried, but we're doing our best. So we're waiting. So that's Linda and Ethan from Little Treasury with Joe Kirk and maybe Gary Anderson, our rep, and if we're lucky, maybe some of the other senior folks. But this is really in the area where only dealers get to go usually, and where they place their orders. So it's a unique inside look at what goes on in the industry behind closed doors. So waiting for them to do it. And meanwhile, you are looking at the SBGC 231 that just came in, the titanium chronograph with the lion's mane dial. And I think this is a good reference point for some of the dials you're going to see in the new collection. So this will obviously be a much sharper image than what we'll get through the Skype. So waiting for that call. So remember, you can only get this at Little Treasury Jewelers, live from wherever. Okay. So, just looking at the notes here, loud and clear, excellent, that's better. Love the video quality, that's a first. Thank you, Chi-Town, California. And, okay, Blue, you love the GS I sold you, but I'm not quite sure who you are. But that's great. Okay, we can't see a watch. Let me show you a watch. Whoops. Camera tripped off. There we go. And there's a watch. Sorry about that, folks. It's still those button thing that Craig does so well. Okay, golden snowflake orders. We just sold one. Here we go. Skype in. Hello.
Can you hear me?
1 second. Let me put you on. Okay, everyone, this is Ethan from Little Treasury. And please let us know if you can hear Ethan, but go on ahead, Ethan.
All right, it's Ethan, actually at Vegas with Grand Seiko right now. And as we know, Grand Seiko just introduced the four beautiful watches, and they call the Four Seasons. And actually, Joe Kirk actually right next to me right now, and he's going to introduce little information of these four watches. Right now, let me just pass mic to him, and let's go.
All right. All right, does it work? All right, so yes, we just launched a brand new U.S. exclusive special edition in Grand Seiko. This is a new series of 4-piece. Clumsy me. All right, so this new series of 4 models depictive of the seasons of Japan is going to feature the very highly acclaimed 62GS case design, the modern interpretation of the 62GS, which was a historical model in the lineup from 1967, the first self-winding Grand Seiko.
You're good. Just go back. Yep.
All right. So the 62GS case design is a bezel-less design with a box-shaped sapphire crystal, very highly faceted lugs, and currently not used in any of the regular production Grand Seiko models. So this new collection is going to introduce a continuing production, though limited in production for the U.S. market exclusively. And like I said, we're going to have 4 dial types inspired by the seasons of Japan. So here we have the winter model, which has a dark, kind of gray silver dial that's inspired by the deep snow of the winter. You have the spring model, which is obviously going to be inspired by spring's beautiful sakura or cherry blossoms. And then the summer model is going to be deep green with yellow gold accents. And I was just telling Ethan how much I love this piece because when I was in Japan, it was summertime, very reminiscent of the feel outside surrounding the studio, the Shizukuishi studio, where this watch is actually made. And then our fall or autumn piece is inspired by a cool, beautiful moonlit sky. So all of these have great inspiration, surrounded by nature once again, as we know Grand Seiko's about the nature of time, and we're really excited to bring these to the market. The retail price in the U.S. for these is going to be $6,300 across the board. What I failed to mention is that our spring and winter model are going to feature our spring drive movement with a high-intensity titanium case, and then our 2 models to the left, our summer and our autumn, are going to be in stainless steel with our high beak 9S85 caliber. So, like I said, all of these models are going to be continuing, though limited in production capacity.
Excellent.
Very good.
Okay. Can you hear me, Joe?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. The video came through just perfectly, and the sound as well. So really neat to have you Skype in, and
thanks for having
hear
me.
your voice again. And I
wish
wonder.
you were here.
I wish I were too, but I wouldn't be able to run the show for everybody who's listening.
That's right.
And somebody's asking if you could rotate the phone and camera to a horizontal angle so it fills the screen. I don't know if Ethan can do that. Of course he can.
Turn the phone so that it's horizontal and fills the screen?
No. The aspect of the phone, not the...
Is that better?
No, it's actually, the picture
It's
should
still
rotate.
vertical?
Yeah, yep, it is. So anyway, I think...
I think it's because of the orientation of the
it's
phone.
the orientation.
It's vertical.
Ethan
So
knows. Ethan's fixed this for me on my phone. It's funny he can't fix it on his phone. But anyway,
he's turning it, and it's
try to zoom in a little bit closer.
Try that one.
No, it's just not working. So just go ahead the way you
Yeah,
are.
it only stays in vertical orientation. Oh, wait, there we go.
Good. Okay. So if you can zoom in a little closer, and now we're getting seasick, but good. And let's see, the spring dial is really showing a lot of texture and definition on it. Is that more so than the other pieces?
So they're all going to have different dial patterns, and something I failed to mention: the two spring drives will have the same dial pattern, both very pronounced.
Mm-hmm.
The high beats are going to have an entirely new dial pattern as well. So all of these patterns are going to be really fine, more pronounced, I'd say, on the spring drive,
Mm-hmm.
but you have totally new dial types essentially across the board. So not just in color, but also in textures.
Right.
The high beats are very, very subtle, but when you get them into the sunlight, you really do have to see these all in person to really appreciate it.
So, Joe...
One thing, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Joe, which one is your pick?
You know, because I was born in winter, my son was born in winter. That's kind of my favorite. But a lot of, it's amazing because the response has been so mixed. Everyone seems to love something different. I've heard a lot of great things about the cherry blossom.
Mm-hmm.
This one has a silvery with like almost a pink undertone type dial. It's very unique. I was just telling Ethan that it's kind of like the popularity of salmon and dials right now, but very subdued, very, very much our own thing. Instead of salmon, it's sakura, right? And then the response on both the green and the blue have been fantastic. So everything has been very well received. I think everyone's picks are a little bit different, which is great. And it's gonna, I think, add some color to the Grand Seiko line.
Yeah, fabulous. So what's the anticipated availability? So it's limited production, I'm hearing?
Correct. Not edition where they're going to be individually numbered, and once they sell out, they sell out. It's going to be a continuous model. They're going to start delivering, I believe, in September.
Right, but it sounds like that the supply might be a little throttled for. What do you think?
It's just because this case design is only being made for these watches, these dials only for these watches. It is gonna, and it's only made for the U.S. market. It will be a limited capacity, but at least they'll keep coming. It won't be something like the last year's intro at Couture Time. We did the Kirazuri, which only made 558 pieces, and I know there's a lot of people sad.
They're still looking for them. They're still. I get the calls almost every other day. So,
Exactly.
What about thickness? Are they the same thickness, or is the high beat a little thicker than the spring drive?
So what's interesting is that the difference in height between the two is about the same. They're only 0.1 millimeters difference. The high beat being slightly thicker than the spring drive. But what's interesting is that the box-shaped sapphire crystal, which is more or less cylindrical, right, sits taller on the spring drive. Like you see more of the edges of the sapphire on the spring drive, where it's over 2 millimeters in height. I think 2.3 is what I measured, and the high beat is going to be closer to 2. So it's a little bit less in terms of how tall the sapphire sits on the high beats, because the movement is thicker itself.
So what's the total thickness number?
12. I think it was 12.7 and 0.8.
0.8. Okay. So they're beautiful, really great. So anything else going on in the Grand Seiko Pavilion? Any other announcements, undercurrents, little hints you can give us for what's coming?
No, nothing yet.
Nothing.
We're, obviously the year's not over, so maybe there will be other introductions this year. But at this time, this is the big launch, and everyone's really been excited about it. So that's something unusual too for Couture Time. Not a lot of companies introduce new product for this trade show. So
no, not at all. And so I'm sort of sad I'm not there to see it. So is my wife there?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's put the camera on her.
There she is.
Honey. Honey, which one of those watches do you want to get from me?
Which one do you like the best?
Which one I like the best? I think that I like to have a green one for Steve, and this is my favorite one. Also, I like this one, spring, which was spring. This one.
That's
spring, little pink tone. The pink tone is a little bit special. It's under the lights. You can see the pink tone. Otherwise, normal lights, you're not going to see the light gray. This makes beautiful classic.
Okay. I think maybe we should get both,
put
right?
together. Just a great sets
Yeah.
collection.
Okay. So thank you, honey. I look forward to getting my 2 watches. Someone has a question here.
Sure.
Does Grand Seiko plan to offer a collector's edition where someone can buy all 4 watches at once? That's a great idea.
As a collector's set, that may be possible. So these watches we're doing a soft launch for here at Couture Time. Right, we're introducing the models. People are getting to see the prototypes, in hand for the first time. All the official press release is actually going to come maybe at the beginning of September. So right before the watches launch, we'll give you all the great details.
So we expect sort of silence until then, during the summer.
Yes, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay.
But we gotta keep you waiting. Keep you guessing.
I know you always do. It's you're always full of surprises, you guys. That's all right. Okay. I don't see any other. Okay. Here's another one. Can Joe tell his bosses to make a smaller than 44 millimeter GS diver? Any thoughts about that, Joe?
Well, I think a lot of people have asked over the years for a smaller Grand Seiko diver, and that's certainly something that I think everyone would enjoy. Do I think that it's impossible for it to happen in the future? No, but unfortunately, I don't know that far in advance, and I'm sure that they're aware, that people would love that, especially when you look at the past introduction under the Seiko Prospex brand, the SLA 017, that was 40 millimeters, very successful watch. But in Grand Seiko, when you're looking at our smallest diver at 44, we want to make these things very robust. Obviously, the crown protector is included in the case measurement, and that crown protector is an important part of creating a robust watch. So you have actually, without the crown protector, it's just over 41 millimeters in the case itself. So it doesn't necessarily wear as big. The lugs are short, and that's kind of the nature of spring drive too, right? You're talking about movements that have well over 200 components. So there's a lot going on internally in the watch, and then to increase the water resistance, all that good stuff, you have a lot of things to add on. So, in the future, are there going to, I would say that it would have to involve a new movement type.
Right, right.
So, that's something that maybe could come in the future, but unfortunately, it's, that's way above where I'm at.
Yeah.
Way above my pay grade.
Okay, but pass it on, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, so you've done a great job with this. And I thank my little treasury team out there, too, for putting it together.
Thank you.
And so we're going to sign off, guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
Take
Thanks,
care.
Steve. Great to hear from you.
Thanks. Bye.
Take care. All right, bye-bye.
Okay, back again. I think that was pretty cool. And what do you guys think? So my recommendation would be, if you're interested in these pieces, think about giving us a call in the near future. I think there's going to be a traffic jam on almost all of these, would be my opinion. And we're experiencing that, as Craig had predicted, that the interest in the brand has increased so much that, in fact, we are having some delays in getting replenishing standard models, and with these coming aboard, I think there's going to be a lot of contention for at least for the early orders. So give us a call and sign up, and that's about it. So I think that is just about all we have to wind up. We love doing this kind of thing, bringing you material that you're probably not seeing elsewhere, and we are always open to your suggestions to really turn it up another notch and continue to have fun with you guys. So with that, I'm going to see if I can gracefully exit. I've been learning that game. Whoops. And see you all soon. You take care.